Hey everybody, I'm out in the woods again. Today we're going to learn how to feed yourself in the woods, part 3. This is going to be how to do a neck snare on an animal. The trick is, today we're going to do it using only a knife. So you don't need a whole lot of tools to be able to set this up. So stay with me, I'll show you what I know. One thing to remember is that this is a kill trap. So if you do this right, when you get back to this location and there's an animal in your trap, it should be dead. That makes it all the more important to target the right species. Make sure you know about how to target what you're going for. Make sure you're not trapping an animal that you're not targeting, because if you accidentally take something out of season, there could be big legal penalties. Also, remember that primitive traps like this one are illegal, against the law in almost every state. So practice for survival, but use your brain. Okay, the first thing we're gonna need to do is find a couple of sticks, about 18 inches long, something that we can carve a notch into, and then sharpen one end and pound them into the ground. Let's see what we can find. Okay, so now we've got 2 sticks, and they've each got a notch cut in them, and they've each got an end sharpened so we can drive them into the ground. Now we're gonna have to find a crossbar that's gonna go from one to the other. And that crossbar should be about twice as wide as the animal you're hoping to catch. Now we've got the notches in the other sticks. We've got the sides here flattened out pretty well. The reason we want to do that is because that flat edge is going to sit inside that notch, like this. And there's going to be upward pressure on this guy from the rope. So we want those to be able to hang on there just like that. Once you've found the stick you're going to use, you're going to have to flatten both ends so that they fit in those notches that we just carved. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna tie a self-tightening knot in the end of your paracord. Here's how I do it. Next thing you're gonna need is your cordage. Form yourself a bite. Now this deserves some consideration. If you're trying to trap something big with the long end, you're gonna need something pretty substantial that can hold its weight. The short end away from you. Is to snare this animal around the neck and lift it up off the ground. Through that bite you just created, it can't self-rescue. If you're
cinch
going
down.
for something smaller,
This is kind of like a
squirrel,
marlin
rabbit,
spike hitch
weasel,
with a lot of extra loop on it.
woodchuck, you probably
what's
don't need
gonna happen.
something
When an
really
animal sticks
heavy
its
duty,
little head
but you want to
through
make
this
sure it can
loop
support the
and
weight of
triggers
whatever
the
you're
trap,
going for. Otherwise,
then
your
that trap is
animal's
gonna
going to
cinch
get caught
down
in
on
your
that
snare
animal's neck
and then break your line and wiggle itself
and raise
free.
it up off the
For
ground,
today's purposes, we're going to use Paracord,
ending its life.
just because
creating
it's
food
bright
for
blue
you.
and you can see what I'm doing with it.
So let
But
me
in
show
a
you that
real
knot
world
one more
scenario,
time. It's also
you probably
sometimes
want
known as a
something
slip
like
knot because when you pull
trapping
it,
snare wire or
it will just disappear.
fishing line, heavy duty fishing
So-
line, something like.
form a bite, bring one end through the loop, and cinch down. This allows you to create a noose as big as you're going to need for whatever game you're working on, big or small. And no matter what happens when it gets triggered, it's going to cinch right down, trapping your animal. Now this kind of knot may not work on something like wire. You may have to figure something out, but if you've got some pretty nice pliable cordage, then this is a good way to do it.
Now you need to find yourself a game trail. You can see one of my previous videos, Feed Yourself in the Woods 1, for what a game trail is going to look like, but here's why you're looking. Let's say you found a game trail that looks like this, and you want to set up your snare here with one post on that side and one post on that side. That's fine. However, what's to stop an animal from just walking around your set because it smells like you or it doesn't smell like them? What you'll have to use is a bunch of sticks and branches and things to kind of block off all the convenient areas to the sides, so that whatever animal is traveling along the trail is going to find the path of least resistance right through your set. Now, the height of your set is also something that deserves consideration. If your set is, if this is ground level here, and you're trapping an animal that's this high, then you only want your set to be about that high. You want to make it so that a larger animal, like if you're trapping a squirrel, you want a larger animal like a deer who might still be using the same pathway to be able to step right over, right? But a squirrel or a raccoon or a rabbit will go right through. So consider the height of your animal. Next, what you'll do is you'll pound both your sticks into the ground, about twice as wide as the animal you hope to catch. Then you're going to take the stick that your crossbar piece, and you're going to make sure these two both have one notch that's facing away from you and one notch that's facing towards you. So your stick, the cross piece, will fit in.
Once
like
you get
that.
your bent over
And when
stick
there's upward tension
place,
on the middle,
then it's time to dress up your noose. Make sure
it'll
it's
stay put.
nice and wide.
Then you're
can
going to
hold
want to
these
tie
in
your
place
lace to this cross piece
with
the
pine
way I
sap
do
if
that
you have
is
to.
with another
Sometimes
marlin
if
spike
you get
hitch.
the type of pine needles that form a V and they're connected at the beginning,
spike
you can use those to
through there just like
spread
that.
out your loop a little bit. I'm going to make this one just a tad smaller because we want our
Then when you have upward
game to be
pressure
able to fit its head and shoulders
on
through
that
there,
stick,
but we want to keep
fine-tune
its
it a
feet
little
on the
bit.
ground.
when you have
Going for
upward
something
pressure
about
on
the
that
size of a
stick,
squirrel or a rabbit.
it's going to stay right where it's supposed to be. Then you're going to tie this line to an overhanging bent over branch or hang some weight from it and use kind of a pulley type system. And that way when your animal goes through here, trips this trigger stick, up he goes.
The reason I like this one is because it's omnidirectional. You don't necessarily have to catch your prey animal coming or going. It could be either way.
Wait a minute. What
So
actually
the cool
happens
thing
when
about
you
this
subscribe
system is
on YouTube?
it doesn't matter which direction
First of
your
all,
prey may be
it's free.
traveling,
It
because
costs
your
nothing.
two
It's
posts
not
have opposite
like buying
facing
a subscription
notches.
to a magazine or newspaper.
Any
When you hit the
disturbance in
subscribe
either
button,
direction
it just means
will
the
raise
next
that
time you
noose.
open
So
YouTube,
if they're going this way,
you'll have an indicator here,
boom, up it goes.
letting
Or
you
if
know
we
I
do a
posted a new
reset-
video that you can watch whenever you're ready. This way, you'll never miss out
And they're going
on
this
new
way.
content from me or
Boom,
from your other
up it
favorite
goes.
YouTube creators.
All right, so that was how to snare an animal around the neck. I hope you learned something. I hope you had a good time watching. If you did, please remember to give me a like and a share and a subscribe. Please remember to give me a like and a share and a subscribe.
Also, once you're subscribed,
Don't look at the camera.
you'll have an easy shortcut to all my past videos.